Hey YouTube, coming at you with our probably second last Beyond the Hype of the first week here, and we are looking at Kanto Marowak. So as you can see on there's Kanto and there's Alon, and the Kanto Marowak is ranked higher and the Shadow's ranked higher here. So two things. One, when I did the Beyond the Hype of a Marowak, I said that Bone Club wasn't good, and two things happened there. One, I did not use the Shadow, and two, I said it was Stab, but it is not Stab because Marowak is Fire and Ghost. It is not Ground. However, Kanto Marowak is Ground, so it gets Stab, same type attack bonus on that Bone Club, and the Mud Slap, and I used the Shadow version, and I said that Bone Club just felt like a crap move, and people were like, use the Shadow version. Bone Club does not feel like a crap move when you are a Shadow version and have same type attack bonus. So Marowak got the two buffs here. Two buffs and a nerf in one Pokemon, which is kind of funny. So Mud Slap got buffed. And if you look at the Mud Slap in the damage here, it's got super buff, so it's the same as Astonish now for 4 damage per turn, 3.3 energy per turn, ahead of your Confusions and your counters and your Dragon Breath and your Gusts and your Waterfall and all your Fangs. So it's a really, really good fast move now. Bone Club did get buffed. It's not, again, an amazing move, but let's go over the stat product. I already went over this with the A Marowak. So it's actually a good stat product, like 110 attack, 145 defense, 126 stamina, 2000 overall. So stat product wise, Marowak's decent. You're now decreasing your defense, which is already actually quite high. So decreasing your defense by 22, add 20 more percent, decreasing by 20% to add 20% on your attack, was a pretty good trade-off with this Pokemon. And you really feel it in obviously the Mud Slaps in the Bone Club. So as you can see, because of the Rock Slide nerf, and because you get the same type attack bonus on the Bone Club actually does more damage than Rock Slide. So in all scenarios, unless Rock Slide is super effective and Bone Club is like resisted, you're throwing the Bone Club. So it's a very easy Pokemon to play, but it has obviously its limitations, like I kind of mentioned again with like all these Mud Slap users like Gastrodon and stuff like that, where if you run into like a Grass or a Flyer and your main moves are Mud Slap, Bone Club, you'd have to get to the Rock Slide here to actually do any damage. And the Rock Slide is only 5-4, 5-4, but it is a 3-turn move, so 15 to the first one. So it's not super quick, but it's not the worst. So basically Mud Slap with Stab and Shadow, amazing on this. Bone Club, again, 79 damage for 35 energy, 2.26. When you have a 35 energy move that does 2.26 damage per energy, you love to see it. In terms of just and then Rock Slide's a coverage move. Again, don't use it unless you need it for coverage because it is not a great move anymore. In terms of the typing, I'm still unclear how I feel about this just pure ground typing right now. Weaknesses are Grass, Ice, Water, and resistances, you resist Electric, double resist Electric, and you single resist Rock and Poison. Now, obviously, with like Clodsires and a bunch of Poison users, you're resisting all those Poison fast moves and like some coverage moves like Stone Edge and stuff like that. Now, Water is always prevalent in the Great League, and for Alligator, last time I checked, is still one of the top Pokemon. So that was tough because it's just like basically a one-shot from a Hydro Cannon. And then Ice and Grass, I think there are now like a couple more Grass peeking up, like Jump Off and everything, and then I'm starting to see a lot more Ice because I think people recognize that Ice is kind of a core breaker in this meta. So I'm still unsure of how I feel just about the pure ground typing. But that is it. In terms of the team, don't use this team. So even in my video yesterday, if you watched my video yesterday afternoon, I said, I'm running a team tomorrow that doesn't make sense because it's double weak to Ice, Mandibuzz and Marowak. Again, Marowak is weak to Grass. So I was just like, and it's weak to Water, right? So I'm like, let's go with Mandibuzz because it'll resist the Grass, and if the main Water right now is for Alligator, I'll resist the Shadow Claws. And then I'm like, oh, I'm double weak to Ice. But then at that point, I was 3-0 or 4-0, so I'm like, I'm just going to run with it. And then I lost 5 straight. So that's when I stopped the team. So you're going to see like my 4 wins in a row and then my 5 losses. That's basically how it went. So I don't know if I'd use this team, but again, we don't really care about the team for now. We are focusing on the Pokemon, and we are going to look at Marowak here because, some of the Bone Clubs, the amount of damage it did was surprising to me. I guess it shouldn't be because of what I just mentioned in my analysis. But again, oftentimes it's so funny because when I do these analysis for you guys, I don't do the analysis for myself before I play with them. I just go play with them and I'm like, okay, this is how it feels. This is how it does. And then looking back, I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense why it felt like that. I probably should just look at the stats before I start throwing these moves, but I just kind of go based on just general knowledge. Anyways, Mana Buzz versus Talonflame. Letting it go, grabs one shield, able to now grab a second shield here, or else they're going to take them out with a lot of energy. So I expect a shield here, and I get it. They are boosted, and so these Incinerates are ripping me apart here. So they go for another Flame Charge. I am just going to come into the farm down, even though it's going to basically almost take me out. Out comes a Lantern, so I'm just throwing this Crunch to burn the shield, to burn the timer. And then we're going to get into Marowak. No, we're not, because we're still locked. Okay, now we're going to get into Marowak. And obviously these are super effective, so it's great. This is perfect example. This Sableye is non-purified. I've landed 3 Mud Slaps. Here comes the first Bone Club. And I'll just great pause me. Again, this is Sableye, non-purified. So when I talked about the stat product before, I said, oh yeah, even Sableyes can take like 1 charge move and then probably can't live the second one. But here we are. I landed 3 Mud Slaps, and because Mud Slaps do so much, that Bone Club, that looks like a good, I don't know, let's call that 30 to 40% there, maybe 35% off a Bone Club, right? Which is not a great move. So hit them with that. And then, because these Mud Slaps are going to add up so much, I let this go because they have Lantern. So I'm worried about the Surf. And then I get to the move, and then this is super effective. And if I can do 35% on Sableye, I'm going to do more than 35% on a super effective move here. As you saw, this game almost tried to leg me out there. This game is brutal right now. In fact, I have this video for Sunday afternoon, and I still had 2 sets left on Saturday here when I'm filming this. But I tried to play with like another team that I wanted to run to showcase another Pokemon for Monday morning, and the lag was so bad I just stopped because I just like, you see this? Like, do you see this? Look at this. This is what I got for the majority of the day. Switch into this, and we are now going to just spin out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 2 plus Incinerates land there. Looks like some of my energy did go through because I am loaded here. And they screw my opponent over on the back end too here, actually. So what you're going to see is like I get kind of screwed on the front end there. And then they like leg out for multiples on the back end here. So you're going to see that in a minute. So yeah, the game is in a really, really rough spot right now. I do manage to grab both shields. And now I'm just going to come Mana Buzz and then just save the shield for Marowak. Because again, when I get rid of a flyer and I have Mud Slap, I'm feeling pretty good. Out comes a Dunsparce. I will chip here I'm out of move. Might as well chip, and then I can just see how much I can Mud Slap down here. But I'm going to get in immediately because that is resisted. And I don't know what they have in the back yet, so I think I may take the move here. I do take the Joe Run. Again, you got that bulk, right? So you can take it. And what is in the back? A Ferrothorn. But, see, they kind of legged out right there. They're half steel, so this is neutral. And again, look how much these neutral moves are going to chip if the game allows me to throw the move. It's spinning. So it's not terrible, and we're at another one here. So I think I am able to take it pretty low. They legged out for at least 2-3 Mud Slaps, so I have to shield this because it would be super effective. I still have like almost half health Mana Buzz here, so I'm getting to a move here. And again, Dunsparce is pretty tanky, but able just to chip with this Bone Club. Now, again, it's Bone Club. Don't get me wrong. It's still Bone Club, so even though it's doing 2.2 damage per energy, it's still doing like 70, 80 damage. 80, what is it? 79, 70, what did I say? 70 something damage. So in the long run, it's still not going to make like a world of difference. And not a world of difference. Sorry, that's not what I want to say. It's not going to like threaten extremely bulky Pokemon that it doesn't do super effective against. is likely, because again, I did like 35% to Sable. I did like 25 to 30% to Dunsparce. Like, yes, but it's still like 25% in the grand scheme of things. And then the Mud Slaps are hard hitting. So it's really like a combo thing that you need to do with this Pokemon. And I think like the longer you shield with it and you take this to the 2 shield, I bet you you can out Mud Slap and out Bone Club a couple people here. I think that's probably how I would play it. Let's make sure turn that down. That's good. Let me just look at the Great League meta. Yeah, it says it has a 19 and 13 record, losing to Waters and Grass and Flyers. Like, that's not surprising. Those are ones you're supposed to lose. But then those sort of like evenish matchups, Gastrodon 482, Guzzlord, Wiggly both have 500, Malamar 503, Licky Licky 507. You've got a lot of like good, close, neutral matchups. And it's just the not overpowered, but like you beat Sableye, you beat Skeldurge. I mean, Skeldurge takes super effective, so it's not surprising you beat that. But it says you beat Cresselia with Grass Knot. Is that true? With the super effective Grass Knot? Yeah, because you can live a Grass Knot because it's non-stab, and you get off 3 Bone Clubs, and Bone Clubs do, again, 22.7% to a Cresselia. So, again, it's nothing overpowering, but when that does 22%, and you can throw them spammy, and then you do Mud Slaps, which do almost 5%, 8 damage, 4.9%, like, it's just like a very deadly combo that can overpower. I was going to say quick, but it's not quick. It's kind of like a slow overpower, if that makes sense. Obama's on the lead here, so again, I'm double weak to ice, so I kind of just stay in here because I have an Aerial Ace too. So yeah, I think it's good. I think if you're going to use it, the Shadow is a must for the reasons that I kind of mentioned already, that you need that 20% Shadow bonus and you need that same type attack bonus on the Marowak for the Bone Club to really make it worth it. I don't think my analysis is wrong on Kanto 9 on not Kanto, the A Marowak. I think the typing is still the biggest issue, but yes, maybe Shadow is better, getting that 20% more on Bone Club, and the Fire Spins do add up more as well, right? You got 20% on your Bone Club, 20% more on your Fire Spins, and Fire Spins are already buffed twice in the past couple seasons. So if you have a Shadow there, it makes sense why both of those are better as Shadows. So those are ones that I probably would say, yes, you do need the Shadows. You can see my IVs here are 15, 13, 11. That is because that's the only IVs I have as a Shadow. So we're in a tricky spot here this season. We're in a tricky spot because we have for Alligator 3 and 4 for the Shadow, so indifferent there. And then you have Jumpluff, the Shadow's ranked higher. Quagsire 12 versus 27, the Shadow's ranked way higher. Kanto Marowak, the Shadow's ranked higher. Gallade, Machamp, Drapion, Machoke, Golurk. It's coming down, and this is the only problem that I'm seeing with these buff moves. They've buffed a lot of fast moves in the damage department. They didn't really buff a lot of moves in the energy department. Every move that got a buff here that I've been using has been a damage buff. Fairy Wind got buffed, damage. Mud Slap got buffed, damage. Karate Chop got buffed, I think, damage. Fire Spin got buffed, damage. So now you have a bunch of Pokemon running fast moves where you're now relying on, again, you're not relying on Fairy Wind damage. That's just kind of a bonus for a fast charging move. But like these other moves like Mud Slap and Karate Chop and Fire Spin, you are more relying on that fast move damage. And when you rely on a fast move damage for a Pokemon with a quick charge move, the Shadow Pokemon is better. So now we're looking at a Great League that is going to be very dominated by Shadow Pokemon. In fact, you put Shadow in on PV Poke, 4, 10, 12, 15, 19, 20, 23, 26, 29, 32. So that is already 10 of the top 32 Pokemon are Shadow, right? That's a lot. That's a lot of Pokemon that are Shadow in the top 30. It's 9 out of the top 29 are Shadow, 10 of the top 32, which is quite a lot, and they're all better than their non-Shadow versions. So it's one of those things where I did my analysis. Honestly, my analysis is probably out of date now on the old meta, because I did an analysis. Does Shadow Pokemon matter? And I'm like, yes, there's certain Pokemon where it does matter, and I'm like Machamp, Abomasnow, stuff like that. But I'm like, for the majority of them, it doesn't. It just like depends on what you want to do. Like Swampert, you win some, you lose some. Again, Sableye was worse because Power Gem wasn't good, but now Sableye, the Shadow, and the Power Gem is ranked better too. So it's just like, now it's shifted that like, oh man, now I got to start hunting for all these Shadows, and now I need a Rocket event to come up soon, because if I'm hunting for new Shadows and all these Shadows that I don't have now, I need to like get frustration off, so I need a Rocket event. So it's kind of forcing people to go and do that part of the game, because yes, again, I used to say Shadows don't matter except for a couple Pokemon. Shadows matter for a freaking lot of Pokemon right now. A lot that are very, very meta. So we'll see how that works moving forward. Again, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of non-Shadow options that work. But yeah, I'm looking at 10 Pokemon here and 10 versions of Pokemon that are better as Shadow than non-Shadow. Like I don't love that, but again, it's part of the game. There's a lot of aspects part of the game, and this is why we're all Dust and Candy and XL Candy poor, right? Because IVs with breakpoints, Shadow versus non-Shadow, different XL Pokemon, Pokemon get buffed, Pokemon get nerfed. Spending $600,000 on a Shadow Sableye so I can showcase it to you guys. Like, this is the world we're in, where you have spent I don't even want to count how many millions and millions of dust I've spent on Pokemon that have absolutely no relevance outside of GBL in general, and some not even GBL. Some GBL, but like Little Cup that's on like for 1 or 2 weeks. Like, Sandslash, again, terrible lead. I don't really have an answer, so this is just like a core breaker almost all around. So eventually get into the Mud Slap, just get met by Venusaur. But like, watch this Venusaur matchup, because these are neutral, because they're half poison. They shield up this Mud Slap, and the Bone Club, because look at how much those Mud Slaps are doing. I'm gonna shield because I'm gonna throw a second Bone Club here. So because you have so much damage with the Mud Slap and Bone Clubs, you really can threaten shields. Where's this thing rank as a safe swap? Because again, I used Drapion as a safe swap because it is a safe swap, way better safe swap. The number 2 safe swap according to PV Poke. Where is Marowak? Marowak is 15, and you have some doubles already above. So I was about to say, that does actually not surprise me because of what I just said. Unless you get hit with like a grass that's just a pure grass. It doesn't have like a poison secondary time. If it's just a pure grass, you're going to get killed, right? Because you're taking super effective and your Mud Slap and Bone Clubs are resisted. But in a lot of neutral matchups, if you get like 1 or 2 Mud Slaps ahead, and then you can just like combo that Mud Slap Bone Club, especially in like the 2 shield too, I think you have a good chance to flip matchups. So I'm not surprised. Again, 22 and 11 record against the Open Great League in the 1 shield with even energy. And that actually goes 1 more win in the 2 shield with a 601 average. So I'm not surprised. I guess with 4 minutes left, I've kind of given my conclusion, but yeah, I think this Pokemon is strong. I think the Shadow's a must. I think the Shadow with the same type of, with Stab, the Bone Club makes it a very viable move. I think the damage of Mud Slap with the spamminess and the damage per energy of Bone Club makes this a formidable Pokemon to use. And I think that it also has the potential to be kind of a sneaky safe swap because, yes, you can potentially get punished. That's the thing. Like, there's obviously for Alligator and Drapion and stuff like that where, like, you have less chance of getting, like, absolutely punished. Like, Marowak has a chance to get punished by, like, if a superior comes in, you're in trouble. Like, you're in big trouble. Whereas if, like, other Pokemon come into Drapion, which is, like, if whatever, Dark or whatever came in, you have enough ability to, like, spam around it and stuff like that. So Marowak has a potential to be punished. But Marowak also has the potential to, like, if you don't have a direct answer to it, if you don't have a flyer, you don't have a grass, and you're coming into, like, a neutral situation, Marowak with, like, a mud slap advantage, I think has a very good chance to flip switch here. So I'm interested. I think it's definitely on my radar moving forward to use. So that is it. We got a few more minutes of battles here. And then we'll do one more team tomorrow morning. Again, what was the team I'm trying to run now for you guys? What's the Pokemon I'm trying to run? What is the Pokemon I'm trying to run? I'm blanking on the... Let me just go look at PV Poke rankings. Was it a fairy? No, I don't think it was a fairy. It wasn't Clefable. I'm just going down the rankings here. It was not Clefable. I've already done Jumpluff. I paired it with... Already done Marowak. Oh, it has... Okay, Ariados. Because many people recommended Ariados. And I asked about the Lunge versus Trailblaze. And they said, like, I keep forgetting that Trailblaze actually got buffed too. So it's the same as like Lunge, only 5 to the move. So I tried it with that. Now again, I did 3 battles and I basically spun out of all 3. So I just stopped for the night. I'm hoping they fix it tomorrow. Or I could play like tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. when people are not playing. Because I think that's the better chance of it not spinning out on me. But yeah, Ariados. Ariados will be my tomorrow morning video. And then tomorrow afternoon, we will do a underrated, overrated video of the kind of the first week review. And then Tuesday will be top teams for Ultra League and the Little Cup here. The Little Cup's a repeat. I haven't checked my have not checked my submissions yet. I follow all the GBL content creators because one, I just want to see what people are showcasing, and two, I think it's important to help the community out. All the content creators, I did not see one Little Cup team the entire week. Every single person played Great League. So it's basically, even though this cup has been on for, this will be the second week that this Little Cup for Gala Little Cup is on next week. It'll be the second week in a row. It'll basically be the first time teams will be showcased because nobody showcased any teams on it because everyone was just trying out all these new Pokemon. And why would you want to play a limited Little Cup, right? So we'll do top teams for Ultra League and the limited Galar Little Cup on Tuesday. And then we will probably combo Wednesday forward with both. Yeah, I'll try and do both Wednesday forward. Half this, half that. Let me know. Actually, I'll put a poll out. I'll put a poll up probably on Tuesday when I do the top teams, saying what are you going to play more of, and just you can drop it in the comments below. Next week it is Ultra League and Little Cup. Let me know what you are going to play. But that is it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a good weekend. And I'll see you guys in the next one.